Number 2 in the algebra worksheet, I want to add 2n to both sides. I also want to subtract 6n squared on both sides. And so on the left-hand side, I'm going to have 12n squared minus 87n minus 72 is equal to 0. Those are kind of big numbers. 12's got a lot of factors, 72 has even more. So I want to look for a common factor. They're not even, so I can't divide by 2, but I can probably take out a 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4, so 4n squared. I can use my calculator to help me. 87 divided by 3. If it doesn't work, then I'm kind of done. That's 29, so it did work. And then 72 divided by 3 should be 24. Now I can split up my factors. For 4n squared, I could be using 2n and 2n, or 4n and 1. I'm going to start with 2n and 2n. Then I'm looking at factors of negative 24. Some of you guys really need to make a list of factors. So the first one that comes to mind is 4 and 6. I'll make one of them negative. It could also be 3 and 8. It could also be 2 and 12. It could also be 1 and 24. So there's going to be a lot of things to check, and it's just the process of going through and seeing what works and what doesn't work. So if I just start with negative 4 and 6. I'm going to be doing the outside and the inside numbers a lot. So I'm going to start with the outside. So when you hear me say the numbers I'm checking, I'm doing the outside numbers multiplied and the inside numbers multiplied. I'm not going to write it out every time because this might take a while. 6 times 2 is 12n, and 2 times 4 is negative 8. So negative 8n plus 12 does not give me 29. I don't need to switch the 6 and the 4 because the 2's aren't changing. So 6 and 4 didn't work with the 2's. I can try 3 and 8. So I have a negative 6. Told you I was going to do the outside first, and I didn't. And 16. So that gives me a 10. So still not working. I can try negative 2 and 12. That gives me a negative 4n and a 24n. So that gets me up to 20, so that's closer, but still did not work. And I can try 1 and 24. Now I already know that the 24 isn't going to work because right here I have a 2 and a 24. And if I would have had two even numbers, I would have been able to take out a common factor. If I do check this, the inside numbers give me negative 2 and the outside give me 48, so that doesn't work. So what I've really done is I've ruled out the 2's as the possibilities. So I have to go back and start over again, and instead of using 2n and 2n, I'm going to use 4n and 1n. Now some people like a different way of factoring because they think it's a little bit faster, but ultimately no matter which way you choose, you're still guessing number pairs and trying to see if they work. And some of you may have started with 4 and 1 in the first place here because the middle number is 29. It's a little bit larger. And so if I try again at the beginning, negative 4 and 6, I'm going to have a negative 4n and a 24n, which gets me to 20. I do need to switch those around. So instead of negative 4 and 6, I need to try negative 6 and 4. So negative 6n, 16n gives me 10. So now I've tried 4 and 6 both ways on this one. With the 2's, it's not 4 and 6. So I'll try 3 and 8. 8 times 4 is 32, minus 3 is 29. So this is negative 3n. This is positive 32n. That's going to give me a positive 29, and I need a negative. That means I need to switch all my signs. So that works. So if I would have started with 4 and 1, it could have been the first or second one I tried. Now I can set each parentheses equal to 0. So 4n plus 3 equals 0. N minus 8 equals 0. You can set each factor equal to 0, but 3 equals 0 doesn't make sense, so we ignore it. So n equals negative 3, and then divide by 4. Subtract 3, divide by 4. N equals positive 8, because we add 8 to both sides. So that one took a little bit of time, and sometimes they